Hey everybody, Aaron Blaze here. It is May 20th, and it is a month since I last saw you guys. Actually, a month and a week.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
Holy cow.
Holy.
What a month we've had, Nick and I, on the road
Not
overseas.
Meanwhile, I'm in the corner. Hi, guys.
Dustin sitting home. Yes. We had an amazing time in Europe. We should do a whole separate live stream just to decompress and show you guys all of that. We're not
Yeah,
quite
we
prepared to
will.
do
We've
that.
got I've shot tons and tons and tons and tons of video. In fact, I was going through some of it
Yeah.
today, and I mean, we
But
could
we,
do a whole documentary.
We flew into Frankfurt. Then we flew into Amsterdam, right? And then where we started our trip, took a train down to Eindhoven,
Yep.
Netherlands. We did some stuff there, and then we moved on to
Graz.
Austria,
Yep.
and did an animal drawing course. Then we spent a couple days in Vienna,
Yep.
which was awesome, bopping around Vienna. Then from Vienna, we went back up to Amsterdam and did some more classes there. And then down to another city, I can't remember the name of, still in the Netherlands, where we did some more
Den Bosch.
Yeah, Den Bosch.
Yep. Den Bosch.
That's Den Bosch, yes. Sorry. And then down to Bruges, Belgium.
Yep.
Which was,
And I watched In Bruges.
yes, he did. He watched In Bruges. It was awesome. And I
What is
did.
there
That
to
was.
see in Bruges? What is there to see there?
It was great. And then from there we went to Kortrijk. Is that right?
Kortrijk.
And did some drawing there and lecturing, and then on to Brussels.
Yep.
And holy cow, I'm trying to remember all this. And then from Brussels, we went our great friend Detlef Tybex.
Yep.
And actually, he might be in Costa Rica right now.
Yeah, he was heading there. So
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got a nice tour of the city there. And then from there, we spent our final week up in Berlin, where we spent a lot of time on a boat and
On a boat?
teaching on a boat. Yes.
I'm on a boat.
Yes.
And speaking of Berlin, Nikita says, "But we in Berlin were the best students."
Yes, you were. You were awesome. And here I am back in Florida already. It was it's amazing. I love modern technology. We can globetrot and have a great time. So, but we got a couple things we want to cover before we move on. Today's going to be a really cool live stream. Nick and I, we did, while we were globetrotting, we were also discussing kind of the future of Creature Art Teacher and how we're moving forward over the next year. And one of the things we're doing is putting Snow Bear, now that we've crossed the milestone of getting the story reel completely done, we have to get into animation. So we are putting it into overdrive, and we're starting to schedule out our final months of getting it done. And
We made a lot of people cry showing them the story.
yeah, we showed them the story reel. We showed a select audience or two the story reel, and we got some nice feedback. So that was cool. And so today I want to show you some fun that I've been having compositing shots together, how to take some animation, export it in TV Paint as a PNG file, movie file, where you can place it in any background, do multiple layers in the backgrounds, do some parallaxes so we actually feel like we're panning through an environment, and throw some environmental stuff in there. It's kind of cool. Go ahead. We got another little surprise. He's coming out.
Dustin's been working on
There he is. There he is. This guy right here. We're going to be working with this guy and putting him in a shot. So I'm going to show you first of all how we created that. Then we're going to get that into the shot. But first, before we do that, let's talk about Proco.
Yes. So a couple weeks ago, Proco asked us, he's doing a big fundraiser over at Proco.com. If you go to Proco.com/Ukraine, today's the last day. So far, they've raised over $40,000 to help people that have been displaced or affected by the fighting happening in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, there's a big humanitarian crisis happening over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are being displaced. And Proco, his heritage, his background, is Ukrainian.
Yep, he's a Ukrainian American.
And he's got a lot of family and friends there still, and they need some help. And so we thought we would jump on board with him and help him out.
Yes. So when he started the campaign, we put up 10 premium annual memberships for a huge discount, and those went immediately. So today we just added 10 more. So if you go to proco.com/Ukraine, that's first come, first serve. You can snap those up.
And 100% of the profits, all of that goes right to Proco and his efforts.
Yes, it's going right to not to Proco, but it's going to go to the charity.
Yeah, to his efforts, I should say. Yes.
Yep. And so 100% of the proceeds from those annual memberships. So you can pick up a membership to creatureartteacher.com, and you'll be helping those that are affected by the fighting over there. And even if you can't donate, help spread the word, because today's the last day of the event, and it would really help. And we saw a lot of evidence of what was happening in Ukraine while we were in Europe. There actually were quite a few refugees, even in the countries that we were in. So
yeah,
lots of stuff going on over there. So we wanted to help in any way that we can, and this is our little way that we can help. We also had donated a charcoal drawing, original charcoal drawing that Aaron did for his course on Proco, and we're happy to say that that's sold.
Yep.
So
very happy about that.
Yeah, so head on over to proco.com/Ukraine and check it out, and we appreciate it. So
also, we've got some more sales going on. What's it just what's that?
The May weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend sale?
Do you know? Is it just everything, Nick?
Oh no, so you're already jumping into the sale. Yep, sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Nope, that's
Just
fine.
figured I'd jump into that.
Yep. So this weekend, we've had our ongoing anti-inflation sale sort of going for about a month now, and that's starting to come to an end. If you head over to creatureartteacher.com right now, 6 of our courses actually going off of sale this weekend. So if you head over there, you'll see they've all got little countdown timers. So you can get How to Draw Bears for 50% off. You can get How to Draw Human Anatomy for $10. Their complete animation course is $10. The Art of the Storyboard with Lyndon Ruddy, 4-leg animation bundle, fundamentals of animation, all that stuff is on sale, and it's ending this weekend. There will still be some additional sales beyond this weekend, but those particular courses, this is your last chance to get them. So get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. And my cursor's sluggish. All right, here we are. We are back, and I want to show you a couple things here. So, what I want to do is I want to show you how I take some of the animation. In this case, I've just got a walk cycle. But it's interesting what you can do with just a simple walk cycle, and some of the fun you can have with it in creating some environmental shots. I went ahead and created a couple just to insert into our reel as a placeholder. They're not by any means finished production shots, but you can get pretty close. And I thought it would be kind of fun to show you how I got there. And so let me turn these off because I'm going to go through really quickly. I'm not going to animate a whole bear walk cycle today because the cycle that I have, it took me like 9 hours to animate it, and I don't have time for that. But actually, this is a demo that I did in my How to Draw Bears course. It sounds like I'm pushing the course, which I probably should be doing. I am pushing the course, because that helps get us through the day. But I want to show you the process that I went through in order to create the walk cycle. And if you want more on it, go on over to creatureartteacher.com and check it out with the How to Draw Bears course. But in a walk cycle, and especially in this one, it just starts out with 2 poses, really. That's what I start with. And it's 2 extremes. There is the extreme where the shoulders are at their height, at the highest point, as you can see in this drawing. The right foot is down, the left foot is coming forward, the shoulders are up, and then the hips are at their lowest point. And so the right foot is in the back, the left foot is coming forward, and therefore the hips are down. Okay? And then the opposite of that is you can see how the hips come up and the shoulders go down. So now the shoulders are at their lowest point with the 2 feet spread, and then the hips are at their highest point with one foot straight underneath and the other foot passing through. Okay? So that's how we start. The next thing we need to do is create the mirrored images of each one of those. So we need 4 drawings. All right, so we've got the first one we started with, the second one we started with, then we go to the opposite side and back down again. So those are our 4 keys. And if I play this, you end up with something like this. Yeah, it's kind of a walk. You can see how there's movement there, but obviously we need a lot of drawings in between. And so now, and there's not really any overlap in that head. I want to see that head kind of bobbing a little bit. So now this is where, now that we've got our keys, our breakdowns will start to determine a little bit of extra animation. They'll determine the movement of the head, how the feet are getting placed, how each foot is moving forward as well. And if I play this, now that's broken down a little bit more. And now you can start to see a little bit of the bobbing on the head, the shoulder blade rotation, all of that. Okay. Now this is still, we're getting the movement, we're getting the action, but it's not smooth enough yet. I want to add some fluidity. So then I would go through and break it down again, adding more drawings in between, pushing the overlap action, and also getting the foot to really plant into the ground. Now this is where I start to get the weight into the animation. So now I'm in betweening it one more time, and now I've gotten it down to 2s. 2s meaning 1 drawing for every 2 frames. Okay? Now this is a 32 frame cycle. All right? It goes 32 frames, and here we go. So now we got some nice fluid movement. The walk feels really good. I'm really liking the overlap in the head, and the placement of the feet feel like we're getting the weight. Now, I just want to get it even smoother. I always say life is on 1s. So I want to go through one more time, break it down one more time. So we're not on 2s, we're on 1s. And now we're on actually 1 drawing for every frame. So there's 32 drawings done for this 1 cycle. And if I press play, now we've got nice fluid movement. This is cool. Now we're ready to do something with it. And so the first thing that I did was I created a layer. Because I'm keeping this rough, TV Paint does have a paint layer where it fills. The problem with it, with the style that I'm doing here, is that I've got a rough style. And so a lot of times it doesn't know what line to fill to, and it'll leak out and all kinds of weird stuff. So when I put paint behind my character layers, when I do rough animation like this, I treat it as an animation layer and just grab a big fat brush and paint it in as if I'm doing a cell, a real cell in the old days. And so what I've done here is created kind of because he's sitting on white, it looks like he's this dark ochre yellow color. But when you put it against the right color, he's going to be a proper polar bear color. Okay?
And just in case, I know we'll get this question.
Sure.
One of the things is that, as you mentioned, TV Paint can do this. It would fill in the color if we were cleaning up the drawings, but we're intentionally keeping a rough line.
Yes, we are intentionally keeping a rough line. I want to keep my style of drawing in Snow Bear.
Yeah, so most animation, at least theatrically, goes through some form of cleanup, and
Right.
so you end up with where you can use the automatic
Right.
color fill, and it works great.
We're actually trying to save a step.
Yep.
We're actually lengthening the process of painting because we can't fill to the lines, but we are saving by doing not doing extra drawings.
It's not that dissimilar from I know they had to do a lot of that with wolf walkers because they had that cutout, that cut block print.
Yep,
look,
exactly. So they
and
had rough edges.
sometimes it broke the border, and so they had to hand color all that as well.
Yeah.
So.
And so what you end up with is, I know there's a lot of kind of vibrating lines, but for me, it kind of celebrates the idea that this is hand drawn. I love rough animation, and it just stylistically, it's something that I'm going for. I like. So that's what we have right here. It's alive, and he feels furry, and now we've got some color. Now I want to export this. Well, actually, there's another thing I want to do. I wanted him to walk across the screen. I have a cycle here. So what I did was I shrunk him down. I took all the drawings, shrunk them down, And then I started repegging them one drawing at a time. So because right now when he animates, his feet are sliding, right? So what I did was I took the cycle and I took each drawing and repegged it so they fit into each footprint. So instead of sliding in place, he's actually walking across the screen. I did that for the whole 2 strides that he takes. Then I copied those drawings and took all of those and pasted them and hooked them into the last position that I left at, and then took all those and moved those over. So we end up with a bear that's walking all the way across the screen. Let me show you how that looked. Let me bring it up here. So there's our bear walk. And then here is our bear after he's been repositioned. And I've repegged him so that he walks across the screen. So this is what he looks like now. So here, just by doing 32 drawings and doing it in place, I can get a bear to walk all the way across the screen by taking those drawings and repeating them. And what this enables me to do is create big beauty shots when we're transitioning between sequences or whatever. And we have several of these in Snow Bear where I want a big beauty shot of him, you know, wandering the empty snowfields of the Arctic. I can take him and I don't have to animate him all the way across the screen. I can just animate a cycle and then repeg those and repeat the drawings over and over. And we end up with a very cool kind of beauty shot. And I want to show you how we can, you know, take those elements, all the background elements, and do that. But now, right now, we've got a bear walking across the screen. How do we create now a PNG? A PNG is basically an image with no background to it. So I can put it onto a background. How do I put a movie file like that together? Well, when we export it, we come up to File and Export To. And what you need to do is in Format, first of all, it's as an animation, a piece of animation, because I can set it as a single image, but I want the animation. And then the format is a movie file or QuickTime, okay? And then in your mode, you have to make sure that it's RGBA. That's what and the alpha channel turned on right here, pre-molt, I guess. All right, but RGBA and movie file, and make sure that your background right down here, make sure the background is turned off. So you end up with this checkerboard.
Otherwise, and the checkerboard showing the transparency. Otherwise, you'll get a white background, right?
Yeah. If you don't turn that off, you'll just end up with a white background, and you can't do anything with it. So turn that background off. Decide where you want to put it. Hit export, and that will do it. So I'll show you what you'll end up with. Is let me go to my file here, and I can go to, where the heck was it? Bear Walk Across Movie. So here it is. And it's thinking. Why is it taking so long to think? Doggone it. See, this is what I was going through before, Nick. So
look at your drive. Is it?
And the drive has got one green light flashing.
You've been having some external drive issues, I think.
Let me do this. Let me.
Write it to your desktop.
What's that?
Can you write it to your desktop?
No, I'm not. I'm not exporting it.
Oh, I thought you were. Sorry.
No, I'm not exporting anything. I'm just trying to show what after. So I've shown you how to export it, and then what you end up with is this. So you can see. Here it is.
By the way,
out of there,
Mr. J on YouTube says, I recently brought your animation class on your website, and it's helping me so much. Thank you.
So you can see it's kind of foggy right now. That just indicates in the preview. You're welcome. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked onto the bear. But so that indicates that you can see through it, and this is a clear background. So now I've got a character that I can move around and do whatever I want with. And I can take that into Premiere, which is my editing software, and I can create a shot with that. So now, if I jump over to Premiere, I'm going to import my bear or walk across movie, import. There it is. So if I put that over here, we've got it right here. Now, Premiere automatically, if I don't have a background, it just goes black. So I can put any background back there. And here we've got our character walking across the screen. All right. So now let's go ahead, and I can blow it up. I can do anything I want with it. So if I want it to be bigger, I can go to my edit controls within reason. I can scale it up like so, and let's make it 150% bigger, or 154. I'll click on motion so I can move it, put it into place, and there he is, a little bit bigger, walking across the screen. All right. Now, let's have some fun. Let's go to Photoshop, and yes, you can do this in TV Paint as well, creating the backgrounds. I haven't figured out how to do camera moves yet, at least in a smooth way. And I know how to do camera moves and compositing in Premiere, so I choose to do it there. And so in Photoshop, I create my elements, and then I bring everything into Premiere. So this is one that I had done a few days ago, and I want to show you. I can turn off each layer, and they're going to work independently from each other, and that's where it's pretty cool. We're going to have some fun with this. So let's do this. I'm going to create a file now, or a document, I should say. Now this is I've got this set at 4K. Now this is my 16 by 9 basically screen. This is what I'm going to look. This is what you're going to see on the movie screen. I need room because I'm going to have things panning across, so I need a wide screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into image. I'm going to go to canvas size, and instead of having it 12.8 inches across, let's make it let's say 25 inches across. I'll just do that. So now I've got an extra wide piece that I can do the elements and I can pan them. I'll have enough length that I can pan parts across.
While you're doing this, I just want to point out for people that join late, I just want to mention the Proco thing one more time because we're almost sold out already. So at proco.com/Ukraine, we put up 20 memberships, 10 earlier in the week and 10 today, annual premium memberships for a big discount. And that's a 1-year membership that gets you everything on our website. And as of when I'm saying this right now, there are only 4 left.
That's amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So if you were interested in those memberships, head on over to proco.com/Ukraine. Even if they're gone, check out some of the other stuff there, because there's some amazing artists that have courses and original artwork and all kinds of stuff. You can get rewards, or you can just donate. So whatever you want to do, but please check it out. And if you are interested in those courses, hurry, because again, as of now, there are 4 left. proco.com/Ukraine.
There you go. So we've got that. Now I'm thinking. One thing I'm thinking. Well, no, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and keep it, because I'm gonna put a move on it while he's moving across the screen as well.
While you're doing that, Aaron,
Yeah.
question: any plans to do a course on animating characters in perspective or drawing them in perspective? I think they mean like coming towards camera.
Yes, I mean I won't be doing a course specifically on that, because that's just a very but I can do a lesson on that. That actually might be a good live stream thing to do, because there's definitely a technique to it that I use. So I want this to be cold. I want it to be kind of gray. I want to use some snow effects. So I've gone into a kind of a blue-gray here. That's going to be our background. I'm going to do an overlay now. And I'm going to do a dark line. This is the style that I'm using for this. First of all, I'm going to have him up towards the top of the screen, because I want to do multiple levels.
I have a question about the annual membership for Creature Art Teacher.
Yes.
When it comes to like, say somebody's their membership is halfway through the year, but they want to rebuy the annual membership because it's on a sale. Will it?
It
Will that
extends it.
purchase?
Yep.
Huh?
It adds another 12 months to it. So,
Yep. It
So-
adds another
And you'll lock in at that price, right?
Gotcha.
well, you won't lock in at the 99 with the Proco thing because that basically
Yeah,
just
that's a one-off.
yeah. But if you want to just extend a normal membership, yes. If you go over to Proco and you get one of those 10 membership or 20 memberships and add that to your account, yes, it will extend it 1 year from whatever you're from
So
today.
it doesn't reset you on the day you rebuy.
No, it's extends.
So it just extends. Okay.
Okay, so what I've done here is I've basically got this holding line. This is going to be my kind of distant.
It adds an additional 12 months, I guess is what I should say. Does that make sense?
Lighten that up, that line, because I want it to be distant. That's my distant horizon line, basically. I want him walking across kind of these planes. And I'm going to go a little bit brighter.
By the way, one other thing I should mention on that Proco thing is that you will get a coupon code, a special discount code to retrieve your membership. That's going to come from Proco. So check your email for that when they're done with the campaign, which will be later today.
So I'm going to create a layer underneath the line that I just drew. And very carefully, I am kind of drawing right up to the horizon. I don't care if I go over a little bit. That doesn't, stylistically, that's okay. Because I'm using a loose kind of rough line with my animation, I want the backgrounds to match stylistically. So I'm keeping the backgrounds purposely a little bit loose.
I got a question from Zaunji.
Hey, Zaunji.
I thought you could do the entire production with TV Paint. What necessitates a Premiere?
It doesn't. I mean,
You can. I'm so used to Premiere and the compositing and the editing in Premiere. I choose to do it that way. You can do it with TV Paint, but Premiere is a bit faster. And one of the things I love about Premiere is if I change a storyboard, if I change it because it's Adobe based, I can change something in Photoshop, get an effect in Photoshop that I might not be able to get in TV Paint, and it automatically updates it in Premiere, so I don't have to re-import it.
the other thing is TV Paint is an animation software, and yes, you can do camera moves and you can do stuff, but typically you're not going to do your editing in Premiere. So, or I'm sorry, in TV Paint. I mean, rather. So, traditionally stuff like score and adding music and all that stuff, that's not going to be done in TV Paint. That's going to be done in an editing program, either like Premiere or Final Cut or DaVinci. We just happen to use Premiere.
Yeah.
By the way, Martin Berger says hi.
Martin Berger.
Martin Berger.
We got to meet Martin Berger. What a time we had. A great time was had by all.
Did you guys happen to meet to the left in Scotland?
We did not in Scotland, but
Not in
we
Scotland.
did go in a lift in Vienna.
Yep. A very tight one, by the way.
Yeah, it was
They
cramped
have
quarters.
voice recognition technology.
We checked. We actually didn't we get video of us doing that
Yes, we did.
on the lift?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mandy Lee is asking, what upcoming courses do you have planned for the future?
I've got a creature design course I'm going to be doing almost immediately. So we're doing that next.
We're going to be updating the Proco course, or not Proco course, Procreate course. Sorry, I was looking at Proco's page when I said that. We're going to be updating the Procreate course soon. I'm very close. Hopefully, in the next week or two, we want to get Jenny Medved's course out on watercolor, portraits in watercolor, which is a beautiful course.
Yeah.
That's coming really soon.
I'm going to be jumping into Snow Bear pretty much full time after I get the next course done. And so I'll be on that for a couple months. I'll probably jump off after a couple months, do another course, get back on to Snow Bear. And we're just going to kind of continue that pattern until Snow Bear gets done.
And I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of.
Yep, you're going to be learning how to do character paint and color. You're going to learn how to do a few things there.
Well, I was thinking more of the lines of stabilizing all your camera footage.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, you'll have some of that to do. So I'm creating another layer.
Oh, and someone said no reptile course. We are definitely still going to do a reptile.
Oh yeah, we're
course,
doing a reptile course.
Yep, and primates and all that stuff.
Detlef says, guys, it's good to see you back in the studio. Miss the muscles in Brussels.
Yes, the mussels in Brussels with truffles. I know the last one doesn't quite rhyme, but
Close enough.
It works.
close enough. So, Detlef, are you in Costa Rica yet?
Costa Rica.
Yeah, he's heading off to Costa Rica.
Oh my.
So here I'm progressively gonna do a little bit more detail each time I do a new layer. This layer, I'm gonna have the bear just behind it. Just on the other side.
Oh, Detlef says that he leaves tomorrow.
Oh wow. Right on. Oh, what time is it? It's 8:30, 6:30, 7:35 there. So, all right. I was gonna say you need to get to bed.
Go to bed.
Well, he might leave tomorrow night. Doesn't necessarily mean he leaves tomorrow morning.
Doubtful because he's going to Costa Rica. He's probably got a morning flight.
Yeah.
Zachary Haverlock is asking, do you know of any cheap or free 2D animation software?
Well, there's a few things out there. Krita has some animation in it. Clip Studio Paint, I believe, has animation in it now. Blender is free, and a lot of people like Blender. That's good for 3D and 2D animation software.
Yeah.
And then the Studio Ghibli created a piece of software called Open Tunes, which is a little complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty robust. So those would be the ones off the top of my head. And then if you have an iPad, there's Calipeg, which is not free, but it's very affordable.
And Procreate.
Yeah, Procreate has some animation in it as well.
Yeah, I did quite a few animation demos, and people were able to follow along and draw with me in Procreate and Calipeg.
Yep.
It was pretty cool to see people doing that.
Yeah, Aaron was working in TV Paint on his Cintiq, and people were sitting there in the class on their iPads, and yeah, they were using either Procreate.
And I got
or
to say,
Calipeg.
they did some pretty amazing run cycles. We created characters and put them through their paces, running and moving around. About as much as you can do in a one-day demo. Oops. So here's our next layer. I want it to get lighter, and then the foreground elements I'm going to put into shadow. So they're going to get darker. So this is where our bear is going to be walking behind this layer. I'm going to lock that. I'm just going to create some little textures here.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
I want to go back into the line again and lighten that up again. It's drawing very, very dark. I'm going to, let's do this.
I've heard many artists sometimes suffer from hand cramps from long hours of drawing. Have you experienced it yourself, and how do you avoid it in the future?
I don't get hand cramps because I purposely draw from my shoulder. Can you go to my screen, Dustin? I mean, to the full screen for me?
Yeah.
So I tend to draw, from here. If you watch me, I tend to draw like this, and it's like my elbow and my elbow rotation and my shoulder rotation. I don't do a lot of this, so therefore and I don't do this, so I don't get hand cramps. I I just draw like this. And so as a result, I don't get carpal tunnel. I've been drawing for, consistently, I've been drawing for 40 years and I haven't had any problems, knock on wood. So there you go.
Oh, and Julio Caesar on YouTube also says that Pencil 2D is a free software, which you did your Tembo testing.
I actually used Pencil, yeah.
Yep.
I did.
And then Subasa Animation says, is it weird that the atmosphere of Snow Bear kind of gives me John Carpenter's The Thing vibes?
Well, hopefully when you watch it, you won't get that.
I know what he's getting at, the color palette. And then,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing about The Thing is that they're alone out there.
Yep.
So that's the intent.
You see the bear.
So I guess we kind of, the spoiler was the section where Snow Bear attacks the group of people that are stranded out on the ice. I guess he figured it out.
Yeah.
No, it's just the shot of the snow bear walking across the plane, but once he gets to the middle of it, he just stops and just morphs into the thing.
Yeah.
Tentacles springing up.
No. So in the very background, I want to go ahead and do something here. I want to get a nice, like there's a little bit of light on some of the, like there's low-lying clouds in the background. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab, this is a very cool brush. This is one of my wet media brushes. And it's a cool brush for just creating, let's go a little brighter with it.
Really, since I made my screen like Aaron's upright, now my shoulder pops out of place from drawing differently.
Well, sorry. If you've ever been on a cold, wintry day, well, you get it in the summertime too, but this kind of pink sky that you get against the clouds.
Day.
There we go. I'm going to give that a little. I'm going to put a layer over the top of that. And I am going to do a little.
Jeffrey on YouTube mentions, I'm a student and I subscribed to Aaron's 1-year subscription and received the student discount and Aaron's discount and got TV Paint Pro 11 for just $350. So yeah, if you become a member to our website, you get a huge discount on TV Paint. So we've had a good working relationship with them for years.
Yeah. There we go. So here what I'm going to do is take this layer right here, this one right here, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. So I'm just going to create a new layer, and if I press Control and click on that, I can go to Create Clipping Mask. And what that does is I can only paint over that layer. And so I want to create a little bit of a pink tint to that layer. Just give it a little pink tint. Let me go a little bit brighter on that. I'm actually going to set this to overlay, see what that does. It might blast it out. It doesn't give it enough color. So I'm going to put that back to normal. And just put a little, there we go. I still like that. I want a little pink tint to it that the sky is kind of throwing in there. All right. So there's that. Go ahead, Nick.
By the way, I'm noticing a few less viewers today, and I think it's because we're probably getting hurt by the various algorithms for having not streamed for a week. So if you're watching this video, hit that like button and share it and all that stuff, because that really helps us a lot. So.
Over a week. It's been almost over a month.
That's what I meant. Sorry, a month, because we haven't streamed for a couple months. So.
And Martinberger's asking, how's the jet lag for you guys? Hope it isn't too bad.
It's not too bad, actually. I pretty much adjusted right away.
Yeah, me too. I still get a little tired in the evening, like when it gets late, but I'm pretty much caught up now.
Okay, so let's create some new layers now. So far, we've got our background layer, which is here, and then we've got our overlay layer right here. Okay. And I'm going to create a layer on top of that. And I want to start creating a little bit of some shape to the terrain. A little bit of snow drifts in here.
Drew was asking, Aaron, I always enjoy when you return from your trips and you flip through all your sketchbooks. Did I miss that this time?
No, I didn't go through the sketchbooks this time. Not yet.
We will do that.
We'll do that next year.
Actually, I don't like that. I'm going to do it again.
Also, want to remind people that over at creatureartteacher.com, we've got a big sale going on. All of our, well, not all of them, but most of our courses are deeply discounted right now. Some are up to 90% off. We've got $5 courses, $1 brushes. And this weekend is your last chance to get several of the more popular courses for huge discounts. Like you can get our How to Draw Human Anatomy course for $10, the Art of the Storyboard with Lyndon Ruddy for $10, $5 Fundamentals of Animation course. So head over to creatureartteacher.com and snag those while you can.
Yes, sir, Bob.
What is your dimension for the background?
It is 2,160 pixels high. And inches wise, it's like 25 inches wide, whatever that works out into pixels. I'm at 300 DPI.
Are you going to be at Lightbox Expo this year?
Yes, we are. Vedanta and I are getting married, and we were going to be getting married on the same weekend as Lightbox, but we talked it out, decided to do kind of a smaller, intimate little ceremony and do it sooner than later. And we're going to be at Lightbox.
Yes.
So here I want to create a layer underneath. Did I tell you that yet, Dustin? Or did you just hear that for the first time?
Sorry, I was reading the comments.
Did you just hear that for the first time about us getting married sooner than later?
But you said that.
I told you that the other day.
No, the other day you mentioned that you were going to have a smaller wedding. You didn't say it was going to be soon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
So no wedding live stream then, they want to know on Twitch.
No, I don't think, no.
I might break the phone out, people. You never know. Just
There you
kidding.
go.
Just kidding.
So I'm
And how
just,
much sooner now is it?
what's that?
How much sooner now?
Right after today's live stream, we're getting married. We're going to the courthouse.
Oh, so right after this?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, we're not sure yet. It'll be between now and October 15th or October 13th, because that's when we're all going out to LA.
Did you reply to Bobby yet?
I did not.
Yeah, we need to do that.
So Bobby?
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Everybody, meet Bobby.
All right, so we're getting some.
What device are you working on? You are working on a Wacom Cintiq Pro 32-inch.
I am.
Martinberg is asking whether it be a wedding bingo.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, did you know, Dustin? He made us an actual live stream bingo card.
Oh, Martin did?
Yeah, he brought it. Yeah, we've got it in our bag. It's hilarious.
Oh.
Martin, email us the file on that if you haven't already. He might have. I haven't caught up on all my emails yet.
It's pretty awesome. We had a good time. We met up well, first of all, we met up at the zoo for when we all first met, and had a great time at the zoo and drawing and the class. All the people in the class were fantastic. Had a really nice time. Met some great people, and then we went to Vienna from there, and Martin Berger met up with us in Vienna as well. I'm just creating little snow drifts, staying loose.
Oh, Joe says wedding live stream. Free saying, Aaron, do the thing. Say yes.
There's only one membership left over on Proco's website.
Wow.
Only one left.
Thank you, guys. So here's a little bit of snow drift. If you catch my drift.
How's it going?
Going good so far.
My watch just told me it was time to stand, so I figured.
Here you go. All right, so there's another layer. I'm going to put those in a file. And I want to keep these separate from one another. So we're going to do another layer now. Grab my Pastel C brush. I always use my Pastel C. See, I want to break the plane a little bit so that they cross over one another. Like this is a big snowdrift shape coming in here.
Fernando wants to know, do you have any recommendations, portfolio recommendations for Lightbox? Do's and don'ts, how to print and present your portfolio? Should you have a cover page? How to stand out? All that stuff.
It's choose your best work, obviously. And if you can do it digitally, that's probably the best. If you have a website, which a lot of students do, your website is a great place to start. If you don't have a website, set up your files in a way that's really, easily accessible.
And then I know there's a lot of companies there that actually do portfolio reviews, and so some of them you might want some sort of leave behind, something you can leave them with. whether it be a business card or a index card or something with your contact information. Um, the trick is really just present it as professionally as possible and be prepared to answer questions. If people ask you questions about your work, don't get defensive.
Take criticism.
Yep.
People are there to help you. Be humble.
My guy Austin on YouTube says, "Hey Aaron, how was it meeting with Loish?"
Lois is awesome. She's such an amazing artist, and she's as much as of a nice person as she is a great artist. I'm a fan. We had we did a lot together at the Eindhoven event. That's where we first met. I've been a fan of hers for a while, and so I introduced myself, and it was all kind of fanboying out.
She gave us something too.
Yeah. You got it in there? Yeah, so I got can you go to the screen here, Dustin? So she gave me her book. And look at that beautiful drawing she gave me.
Back it up a little bit.
Yeah. Is that still out of focus?
Yeah, it's a little
blown out.
Here, I can.
Move it in.
There you go, right there.
Yes. So very, very cool. Beautiful drawing.
And it was a
Beautiful book.
It was a
too.
funny story. She had actually had to order her own book off of Amazon.
Yes. Which I felt horrible. Well, I don't feel that bad about it because I ended up with a nice book.
Well, you traded books basically. They
Yeah.
traded books, and
She got one of mine, and I actually got the better deal. She's pretty amazing.
oh, now Aaron's out of focus. You got it, Dustin. Cool.
Yep.
But she was great. Peculiaris on YouTube says, "Hiya, first time catching you live. I just started your painting in Photoshop course. I'm so excited."
Oh, nice. Well, here we are, painting in Photoshop, doing animation backgrounds. This is what I'm going to be doing all of my animation backgrounds in for Snow Bear.
Twitch question: do you have a method for choosing color palettes?
Well, in this, yes, I usually pick a theme. In this case, I want kind of violets and blues. And so that's what I'm doing here. And also, more importantly than color palette, I make sure I pick a good value range as well. And, picking values is like here, I want light values in the back, dark values in the foreground as if they're in shadow. And it creates a nice framing effect. That's what it's going to do. I'm just getting different values going through the snow here. But I'm trying very hard to stay within the basic value range of what I just laid down.
What was the best food you had in your trip to Europe?
It was all pretty consistent. I don't know. I mean, we had good schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel, and things like that, and in Austria, had some
We went
good
to a really
food.
good steakhouse in Austria.
Yeah,
That was that stands out in my mind. I really like the Snorkel waffles. I know
snorkel noodles.
I know that's not what they're called, but in
Snorkel
in the
noodles.
Netherlands they have these little
Snorkeldoffels,
those little like caramel waffles.
the Schnitzelfursels.
Oh, what are they called? They're little
Staffel-
little crispy waffles.
Staffy waffle, Stoofel waffle,
Stoof.
Stupend. Snarky waffles.
Stroop waffles. That's what
There you
it
go,
is.
Stroop
Stroop waffles. Those were fun. If you haven't had Stroop waffles, yeah, people are commenting. Stroop waffles. Yep, those were good. Heated those up over a hot cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee.
So big thing. I was walking. We were walking probably 3 miles a day at least. A couple days we walked much further than that. And my diet, food wise, I was being really consistent how I was eating. Went great. Got home, didn't lose. I lost 1 pound.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But I think it's because you put on leg muscle. I think it has to be because I mean we really we were walking on average 8 miles a day, I think.
Yeah, just shows you how much my metabolism is slowed down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a little gradient on this. I'll set it to multiply on this background. I put a clipping mask on it. There we go. So you can see, maybe not that dark. There we go. We'll go there. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting a nice little background happening here. I'm going to put that into a folder. Let's do another one. Do another layer. We're going layer crazy.
The spam bots are out on YouTube.
Spam bots are out at 9.
It's annoying. I've been blocking them, YouTube viewers.
What's a spam bot?
They just post spammy links and like it's all automated in the comments.
Oh, it's not even people doing it?
Yeah. It's just
Well, that is super annoying.
how can I start a career in animation? How do I go about getting a job, either with a company or freelance work? Would you recommend?
Well, you got to put together a reel. That's the biggest thing. It's like getting any kind of job in the arts. You have to show that you can do it, right? And so, depending on what you want to do in animation, I mean, animation isn't just animating. It's environment design. It's rigging. It's modeling. It's all kinds of different things. And you got to kind of work towards that, and decide what it is that you want to do, and then work on the portfolio to cover that. Beyond that, it's you got to get the training if you haven't done the training yet. But it's really putting together, deciding what you want to do in the fields of animation. Whoops, I got to put another background on there. And then you start soliciting the studios. Most studios have a website. A lot of studios are doing internships, although which ones I'm not sure. I've heard that Disney is starting to do 2D internships again, although I don't know for sure.
Well, I do know they were accepting applications. I know that for a fact because I checked out the link, but I don't know if it's still open or not. I'm not sure.
And it's a matter of putting together your work and showing your work and putting the best foot forward you can.
Do you have any projects planned after Snow Bear, and how far out do you plan your projects?
No, we don't have anything planned right now. We have ideas, but we don't have anything planned.
We don't have anything on
solid
the schedule
yet.
Yeah. But we've kind of always got multiple things in various stages of planning.
We do.
Govind is asking, have you ever done a step-by-step demo of an elephant's walk cycle animation?
No, and I probably will at some point. Actually, no, I take that back because I have a walk cycle pack, locomotion pack.
I was just going to say, and actually, if you can put up that slide for our sale, Dustin, that course is just $10 this weekend only. It actually goes up. And yes, there is a demo of an elephant walk cycle in that course.
Yep, there is.
There's also a crocodile, or an alligator, I should say.
Yeah. Well, Florida man.
That was funny. That was one of the biggest questions we got when we were in Europe. Like, is Florida man a thing? And Aaron was like, I am Florida man.
I am Florida man.
Florida man is in fact a thing.
Yes.
In fact, a lot of my Discord friends on one of my game for I'm a clan with, some of them call me Florida man.
I'm sure. So we're going to do one last layer. One more layer. One more layer.
Eric on Twitch wants to know, did you have any interesting nature encounters on your recent trip?
I wouldn't say nature encounters, so to speak. I mean, we went out and did some drawing in Austria. That was super cool. We went to a castle, and the view of the castle was insane. Just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, we did a little live stream from up on that castle. If you follow us on Facebook, you may have seen it. It was because I wasn't able to get the multiple streams to work. But yeah, it didn't do the height justice. Like, there's a shot from the reverse where you see it on a cliff, and it was pretty amazing. Oh, we're being rated on Twitch. We just had 46 new viewers join. Say hello,
Holy
Aaron.
cannoli.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Raiders.
Don't leave, because what you're going to see is this turn into a really cool shot. So I'm just creating the shot right now, and we're going to composite it, and we're going to see some really cool animation.
Show us the little bear, Dustin.
Yeah, have the bear walk across.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Just did.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's already walked across. We're going to have this guy walking across our screen.
And Nikita says, Aaron, I followed a tip and ignored realistic light in my portraits and added light myself. You're right. This pushes my images more. They look more vivid and clear.
There you go, baby. I won't do you wrong.
There you go.
And I want to let people know that over at proco.com/Ukraine, they've got a ton of artwork and originals and courses and all sorts of stuff. We got together with Proco, our good friend, and we're helping them out with raising funds for those people affected by the war over in Ukraine right now, specifically people that have been displaced and refugees. And we are now out of our memberships over there. They have all sold out. So thank you, everybody that contributed. And there's lots of other great stuff there to check out. So
That is awesome.
be sure to do that.
Thank you, guys. You helped us raise a substantial amount that I think is really going to help make a difference.
Julie's asking, this week's school assignment is a nocturne landscape painting.
Nocturnal?
I think that's what she means.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice on how to handle color and lighting for this type of environment?
Yes. First of all, your values are going to be extremely close together. So the slightest value change, it's all going to be in the low value range, is going to be noticeable. Also, your if you're going to have lights in the distance or anything like that, make sure, it's all about value. So make sure your lights are quite a bit brighter than the values around it, and just know that you can do a step, even half a step up from, absolute black, and it'll still read. So those little value changes are going to go a long way.
Do you have a course on how Photoshop works?
I do. I have a digital painting in Photoshop course. If you go to creatureartteacher.com, it's there.
Yes, and it's 40% off right now. And we've been kind of running for about a month now, our sort of anti-inflation sale, we've been calling it, because everything else in the world seems to be going up in
It's insane.
expense.
Did you see how much gas went up while we were gone?
It's nuts. It's nuts. It really, it's literally a record. I mean, this is the highest it's ever been. So, yeah, it's
Now, it's still not as high as it was in Europe, so, I'm crying, but more than I should. But, yeah, it's pretty crazy how much it went up.
yeah, it's but
Actually,
it's not just gas. Obviously, that affects everything. So,
Actually, my regular station has gone down a little bit. Right when you guys were leaving, the gas price for for the station I usually go to is like $4.06 a gallon.
Yeah.
But then this past week I went and went down by 30
Are you sure? Because ours here was $4.50.
Yeah, it's $4.48 right down the street.
The
Right?
7-Eleven that I go to.
When was the last time you got gas?
Last week.
Yeah, that's probably why. Because it shot up. All right, so we've got all these layers.
I want to see the receipts. I don't believe it.
So we got all these layers, all right? So now we've got our background of snow and snow drifts, chunky snow, all of that. We've got all these layers. And first thing we want to do, let me create a folder here.
Zia says gas in California is ridiculous, over $7 here.
That's the same price as Europe, because it was $2.20 a liter, €2.20 a liter. Which I think that works out to about $7 a gallon.
Yeah, I
For
think
Julie
it does.
in Illinois is $5.17 a gallon.
So here we go. So we've got all this. The first thing we need to do is we got to break up each layer. Okay. So I'm going to turn everything off. Here's our background layer. I'm going to save this as a copy. I'm going to save it in my animation. There we go. And we're going to call this our Snow Bear Composite Demo BG. Whoops. What did I do? Okay, that froze up there for a second. All right. I'll make that a JPEG.
I think what is happening is that external hard drive is going to sleep, and it's taking a bit to wake up. This is my theory, and it's taking a bit to wake up.
Maybe. Either way, it's annoying.
It is.
Okay, so now I want to start saving PNGs. So here's our next layer. I'm going to turn off the background layer, okay, so that we have this independent. And I'm going to save this as a copy. And I'm going to save this as a PNG. And now we're going to go Snow Bear. Composite. Demo 1. Okay. And let's save that there. And we're just going to keep moving through. Here's our next layer. Turn off the last layer. You want to make sure that you have each layer on by itself. And we're going to save a copy. We're going to go PNG. And it's going to be Snow Bear. Composite. Demo 2. All right. And we go to our next layer. File. Save a copy. PNG. Snow Bear. Composite. Demo 3. All right. Another one. PNG. Snow Bear. Composite.
Leandro asked,
Demo.
hey,
4.
Nick and Dustin, is it more probable to get my comment read if I post it on YouTube or Facebook? I'm posting on both as a test. Well, I just read that on YouTube.
We did the same thing on Facebook. When Dad stopped talking.
Your mileage may vary.
Mileage fair.
We get as many as we can. One of the blessings and the curse about having fans that watch all over the world is, and it's a blessing, but it's just impossible for us to hit every comment across all the platforms. We do the best we can. So if we
I
don't,
focus on a C one, yet Nick, you focus on like 3.
yeah.
But then there'll be those few times it's turned to a gag now where you ask a question on Facebook that I'm monitoring, so I just end up going, "Stay out of my territory."
Yep.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to jump over to Premiere. Now remember, we brought our bear in. Where'd he go? He is right there. Okay. I'm going to shrink him back down to 100%. Now in Snow Bear, I predominantly have everything moving from right to left. And I want to show you how you can flop an image. So here I'm going to have him, I'm going to flop him. So I just go, I go to my effects and I go into video effects and I go to transform, and in transform there's horizontal flip. And I just go boop, there it is. So now he's going the opposite direction. We don't have to do that. I just wanted to show you that's what you do if you want to flop something. All right. And like I said, predominantly throughout Snow Bear, he's moving from right to left through the course of the story. So now let's import our elements. So we're going to go to import. And I am already in my animation folder. And here is all of our files that we just created. And I'm going to import them. And so now you can see them in my bin right here. So the first one I want to bring over, and it's going to go under my bear layer, is my background layer. And let's make it the whole length of the animation. So now we've got him. This is the beauty of using a PNG, is that now he's sitting on a background.
Justin, can you maybe turn Aaron off in the lower left because he's blocking the timeline?
And so also, yeah, do that. And so also the other thing I want to do, now that I've got the background, I'm going to move him. Let's go up to my effects controls. I'm going to highlight his layer and go to motion, and I can move him up here. I'm kind of getting him in the just about the right area.
Real quick, it's about the Proco membership. How do they access it after they make the payment?
You're going to get sent a code from Proco when the campaign ends. So we gave them codes, and they're gonna handle fulfilling out everything. Just be patient because the campaign's still going on through today. But they'll get everything out to everybody ASAP, and then you'll basically take that code over to our website and be able to redeem it. So sit tight, but it will be coming shortly. They've already got the codes. They're just waiting till all the campaign is done to start fulfilling the rewards, is my understanding.
Now the background, if you remember, is really long. So I'm just going to put it here. The background really isn't going to move. So I can put it anywhere I want. And this is kind of like it right here. So I'm just going to make that our stationary BG, so to speak. Okay? So now we want our next layer, which I believe is here. And I'm going to put that on top of our bear layer. There. So now, and the other thing I'm going to do, now I'm going to blow him back up again. So I'm going to go to his layer. And I'm going to go percentage on scale. I'm going to click that. And I'm just going to hit the up arrow. Now he's going to disappear for a little while. I'm going to knock him up to about 150, 160%. Because what I want is I want to have a little bit of room to pan with him.
While you're doing that, Sarah on YouTube wants to know, how old were you when you started painting?
Oh, I was young.
You started with watercolor, right? Was that your first?
I did. I was quite young. Where did he go? Let me hit play. I don't know where he is. Oh, you know what? I think he's way down. There he is. So I'm just going to have him just on the other side of the snow. Let's go back here to the beginning. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pan with him. right there. Pull him, actually, pull him right in there. Oh, it's going a little slow there. So now I want him just on the other side of that snow. Okay? So there that is. Let me think here. I gotta, because I want to, there's a couple of different moves I want to do. Yes. So what we're going to do on this is we're going to start here. And I think we're going to go right about to, let me go to here. Let's see here. Right about there. I'm trying to figure out, because I want to pan with him, but then I have to nest this, and then we're going to move the camera over. Let me see here. I want to shrink him. Doggone it. Sorry. Just
Leandro says, the first time I saw Snow Bear passing through the screen, I thought you got a Labrador.
So there it is. That's our.
How long have you been working on Snow Bear?
Off and on. We came up with the concept about 6 years ago.
I like to say we've been working on Snow Bear since Jimi Hendrix was still alive.
And the Beatles were still a band. Okay, so here's our shot. This is him walking across. So I'm going to nest this.
And Jeffrey wants to know, is using that camera in Adobe Premiere for compositing better than using the multiplane camera in TV Paint? No idea. We don't know how to use the multiplane camera in TV Paint.
Yeah, I've never done it.
But we will.
Let's do this. This is what we need to do. I'm going to take all of these, each one individually, because I want to have a little bit of room to pan on it. Yes, thank you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my BG, and we're going to shrink it down to 75%.
Martin Berger asks, Snow Bear was the 11th man on the moon, right?
But we've been working on it. Oh, wait, boo.
The overlay, I'm going to shrink to 75%. And I'll show you why I'm doing that in just a minute.
Luciana asks, as an animator, are you used to the storytelling and writing aspects, or was that a new skill that came with your newer productions?
That's a new skill that came with as I became a director. So here, and then let me click on the background. I'm going to move the background over as well, right about there. And now I'm going to take Snow Bear, move him over, drop him in size a little bit. And then we're going to move him over here. Like so. Right about there. Okay? So now when we play it, actually, let me start that again. because I wasn't at the beginning of the shot. I'm going to put him right about there. So now when we play it, we're going to have something that looks like this. Okay? Now the reason I shrunk it down like this is I want to be able to pan across it, but I need all 3 layers to pan the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3, highlight them, and I'm going to go to clip, and I'm going to nest it. And I'm going to hit OK. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning. Now everything is put together into one layer. I can still double click on it and go back to my layer. Okay, so I can still adjust those if I want to. Now what I'm going to do is blow this up until I hit my edges. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to start right about here. And I'm going to I'm going to click on scale and click on position. That's where I want it to start. Then I'm going to go to the end of the shot. Right here. And I'm going to go to motion. Drag this over.
Wow, fun fact from Martin Berger. The first live stream that we ever did was on April 1st, 2016.
Wow.
Probably on the April 1st, 2016.
So here we've got a pan. See how we're panning with him a little bit? But he's gaining on the camera. Then we let him pass through and cut. So I'm going to adjust the length of the shot right there. I'm going to get rid of the extra parts we don't need. So let's go back. We got a 16-second shot. See how we're moving with him? And we have him behind the starting layer. So now we want to start building up our layers. So let's bring in our first layer right here. Put that right on top.
I got a question from Zomji.
Run this across. Yes.
What is the thinking on line weight aesthetics? As your character shrinks, so does the line weight. Do you usually shrink or enlarge line weight?
I'm not the line weight aesthetic. I'm gonna try to keep it consistent. I know it's not consistent here, but if I have to shrink something in a long shot, I will probably shrink the line weight in the background. And let the line weight kind of grow a little bit as things get closer. But that's a good call. We actually worry about that kind of stuff. In Brother Bear, we did. Because obviously you don't want different line weights. Like here, you can see because we shrunk the bear down so much, his line weight is much more fine and thin than the background around it. So here we go. So obviously if I don't put a pan on that foreground, it looks weird, doesn't it? It looks like it's kind of drifting along. We need to create a parallax. And what that means is, as we're panning with the bear, as things are panning past, the closer they get to us, the faster they move past the camera. Okay? So let's start here. I'm going to move over to the end. There's our edge. I'm just going to start there with our edge. And I need to move, because this is closer to the camera, I need to move more than the background than I panned on the background. So I'm going to start here. Now I can't remember how much I moved that background, so I'm just going to guess. And we're going to, oh, sorry.
What while you're doing that, what area of animation did you specialize in at Disney? Or do you
Character animation,
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start this again. So there's our starting position. Then we're going to go to the end. This is the end. My only friend.
And then
So we
why?
go to the end there. Hold on
Sorry.
one second. Sorry.
Nope,
I just
nope, you're
gotta-
good. Sorry, I thought you were in.
No. And so now I am going to, you can see the line. See the line that it's creating, the crosshairs are creating? I'm just going to take a guess and just see how this looks. It's not too bad. Let's see how that plays.
Then
It's got a little bit of a parallax. I don't want it to be too much yet, but I don't know that it's quite enough. I want to give it a little bit more. I want it to feel like it's closer to us. So I need to give it a little bit more parallax. So I'm going to change the start, or go back to the original start, but change. I'm doing this kind of a roundabout way. I know there's a better way of doing it.
someone says you scaled it by 75. I don't know if that matters or not.
Okay, so now we're going to move it over to here, right about there. Now the problem is I got to make sure that I'm not moving this too much, because I won't have enough room for my there we go. I won't have enough room for the other ones to move.
Quirky Artist number 1 asks, can you tell me how I could make my own character design work to my advantage and skills, even if it's not as professional as a veteran animator and their character designs?
Say that one more time.
Can you tell me how I can make my own character designs work to my advantage and skill level, even if it's not quite as professional as veteran animators and their character designs?
Yeah, take my character design course. Because it's, I mean, you're going to follow the same rules. So it's a matter of taking my character design course and
Yeah, those principles
following the
are gonna
rules.
apply.
I mean, yeah, the principles are universal.
So even if your drawing level is different, your design principles should still be the same as what
Yes.
you're getting at.
So here, that's really dragging right now. Catch up.
Someone says the warm color on the bear fur looks very pleasing with the cool snow now.
Exactly. And polar bears really have that. So what I'm going to do right now, if this thing will ever catch up, is move the background down.
Have you saved it?
Yep. Hold on. I'm going to. File. Save as. Snow Bear Composite Demo. Look at that. And we're putting that, I'm going to save that in Reels. Come on, man. Catch up. Oh, I've already got it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start here. And this is where I'm going to click my starting position. Once again, jump to the end. And now we're going to move this layer even more than the last layer. Once again, I hope I'm not moving it too much.
But you can go back and adjust
So-
your timing on.
We can. So here, if you notice, now the foreground layer is moving a little bit more than the midground layer, which is moving a little bit more than the background layer. And the key to this is to continually move your layers more and more, and it creates the depth. Now, the other thing you can do is create a depth of field. So on this foreground layer, I'm going to go into my effects bin, and I'm going to go into blur and sharpen, I'm going to grab Gaussian blur. I'm going to put that on top. And then I'm going to go into my effects controls and click on the percentage of blurriness. Right now it's at 0. But if I up it, you're going to see that foreground layer kind of go out of focus a little bit.
You can hit tilde at some point too, Aaron, and bring the viewer full screen. Don't forget
Yes.
to click on it.
And I will do that. I will do that. There. So you can see him moving across like so.
Hey, Gabby says, yes, I made it. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Gabster.
Hey, Gabby.
Diego asks, why are timing charts still used in digital animation when we have a timeline?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. All right, so now we got another layer. I'm going to put right here. I am going to move it. You got to move it, move it. I'm going to go to the end of the right here.
I have to think that through. Would the timeline replace the timing chart in a pipeline situation?
Don't know. I'm going to my effects controls. And I am going to, come on, baby. Place it right there. We're going to go back. I'm going to my effects controls now. That was just the effect. And now I'm going to push the blur on this layer. And now this layer should be a bit more blurry than the other layer that I just put in there. And we're going to start at that position. We're going to jump to the end. This is the end, my friend.
My only friend.
The end. All right, so now we're going to move it, move it. You got to move it, move it.
Do you have any tips or recommendations on where or how to learn to draw backgrounds for animation? We are working on a layout course. I'm sure there's some out there. In animation, that process is called layout, right?
Yes.
So that would be what you want to look up is...
That's what I'm basically showing you now. So now you can see the foreground moving a little bit more than the other layer we just put in. Okay?
Is there such a thing as too many layers?
Not really. It depends on what you're trying to do. Now, if we were moving into the shot, we could do a multiplane shot. And that would be gradiating, pushing the, blowing it up, over a period. It's a whole other thing to explain. Actually, I'm going to go back to this layer, our second layer, this one right here, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of blur on it. Let's put a little bit of blur on it, just a touch, so that it blends in between the background and our other layers.
Gabby says, as always, I'm only on a lunch break, so I gotta go in a few minutes, but I really miss this community.
We miss you too, Gabby. All right, so there is our bear walking through a snowy background, and we're kind of panning with him and getting that parallax happening.
Philip asks, in a night landscape with the only light source being the full moon, everything will have some sort of bluish tint to it, correct? Or am I thinking wrong?
Well, whatever the tint of the moon is, yes. If the tint coming off the moon is bluish, but the moon can have a warm glow, it can have it depends on what you want. Not typically is it warm, but it can.
It can be, and also there can be... Now, if you're saying truly the only light source is the moon, then yes, you'd probably be light. But even with the moon, there can still be reflective light sources. If something was walking across the water and there was moonlight, you would get reflective color as well. So
Yep. So now I'm going to grab my effects. I'm going to go to Gaussian blur again. We're going to drop that on my foreground layer. I'm going to go back to effects controls, and I'm going to pump it up. We're going to push this baby way out of focus. It's way in the foreground. I'm going to go up to about 80%. And we're also going to start at this position. All right, now we're going to jump to the end, my friend. All right, we're going to do that, and we're going to move it to the very end. I'm not sure I moved it enough. It might be too in line with the other layer, in which case I've got a way we can fix that. Yeah, see how the layer behind it, it feels like it's pretty locked and it flattens it out. So what I need to do is this. I got to go to I'm going to start over. We're going to go to here. We're going to click on that. And we're going to click on position. And we're going to get rid of our move altogether. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to blow it up to 120, 30%. Oh. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to move it. Move it. We're going to start here. And drop it down a little bit. We're going to click on there and there. So that's our start position. Let's go to our end position. And now we're going to move it to the end.
just going back to that comment on line weight, ideally, in this particular situation, you took the animation of a bear that you had already created.
Yes.
Normally, you would animate the bear to the size of the shot.
Not always. Sometimes
always?
you got really tiny booger animation, in which case what we would do is blow it up to at least the size that I can animate it comfortably at. And then we can shrink it down and there won't be that much of an issue. It's not going to, it won't, as long as you're not shrinking it down too much. The great thing you can do with TV Paint though, is I can start at I can shrink it down to the size that I want, and then I can blow it up and animate it, and it usually is, it's not too bad. But, because I can zoom in, but,
Right.
but usually I still like to because if you have any kind of inaccuracies, it'll if you can shrink it down a little bit, it'll minimize those inaccuracies. So there's our foreground moving at a certain pace. That feels pretty good.
That is quite nice.
Okay. So there's our moving background. Our moving shot anyway, with our bear in the background. Feels like we're painting right along with them. We've done this by creating a parallax, by creating PNG layers that move more and more as they get closer to camera, if that makes sense. And we've also created a depth of field effect by pushing those layers out of focus as they come closer and closer to camera as well. And I'm also making it feel like they're in shadow. There's something casting a shadow on them and he's in light. Okay? So now, one of the things I want to do, I'm going to click in here. I want to go to my movie file. And I want him to... Is that where I started? Let me see. I want to start with him
How do you make the decision about how long a scene like this will last with the bear walking?
Say that again?
How do you make the decision about how long a scene like this will last, for instance, with the bear walking?
Oh, I'm just experimenting with it.
Yeah, this is not a shot that's going to be in the final film. This is just a demo for everybody. However, this goes to something that we've talked about before. And if you take storyboarding classes that we offer, or Chuck Williams' story course, or a number of things, animation is different from live action films in that the editing happens as part of the pre-production phase.
Exactly.
So you do your storyboards and you time them out as animatics or story reels, and that's how you determine how long each shot will last. And then you put that into production of animation, because animation costs so much to do and takes so long. You want to have all the timing figured out in advance. So that's how you determine that. Like, this shot is 24 frames or 48 frames or whatever it turns out to be. That's all driven by the pre-edit. Correct, Aaron?
Yes.
And
Exactly.
then as an animator, and we talked about this a little bit on our last stream, or maybe it was one of the events we did when we were in Europe. As an animator, sometimes you could have a dialogue with the directors and say, hey, I need a couple more frames to get a better performance. And then you would have to have a discussion about that.
For some reason, I'm not getting it to move. I'm trying to move it, and it's not moving. I went into the nested sequence. I'm trying to move the start position of the bear, and it doesn't move.
Is it locked?
I didn't think it was.
We see. I'm watching the lag. I can't see what you're talking.
I don't think it's locked. I haven't locked it over here. It's weird. Yeah, I've got this. And I go.
Just try moving it with the numbers. I'm just curious if it actually.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. I don't know if there's a bug or what.
This layer.
It's the purple layer.
Try it now.
No.
It doesn't look like the bear though.
Yeah, that's the bear. I don't know why it's not. It's the bear layer. It's the bear walk right there. That's why I don't understand. It's not doing anything. Yeah, it's not. There's definitely a bug. Something's bugged out. Unless it just got locked or
It's
something.
like the display is not updating.
But anyway, I just wanted to change the start position. So we're fine. We're fine where it's at. But now what's really cool is we can start to create some effects. And so I want to go ahead.
Can you sync sound effects to an animation in Premiere? Absolutely.
Yes.
That's where you would add the sound.
That's where I add a lot of sound effect. Well, I can do it in TV Paint as well.
Yeah, but your mixing and all that stuff typically is going to happen
Yes.
in Premiere.
In Premiere. Okay, so now I'm going to go and import some snow effects. Now let me go into my, where is it? Production folder. And we're going to look at oh, come on. Man, it's annoying. Reels. Let's go to snow. I'm just going to look up snow. Because, or snow overlays. Overlay. I want you to see these snow overlays that are really cool. There's my snow overlay pack. Where is that? Oh, it's in the Snow Bear file outside of there. Okay. Well, I'm going to import that. So there's our pack. I'm going to double click it. Okay, hit OK. So here we've got all these different types of snow effects right here. I'm going to take this one blowing from the side. I'm going to put it over here for right now because I want to make sure. Let me see.
Someone says, I believe you mean snowverlays.
So now it's blowing because it's blowing from right to left. I don't want it blowing right to left. I want it blowing the opposite direction. So we're going to go into my effects. And I'm going into horizontal flip. I'm going to flip that snow. So there we've got a nice snow effect right there.
Informer.
All right. So now what I'm going to do
a little snow for you.
is I'm going to go right about here and I'm going to put it in right there. Boom.
Do you ever record video reference of your acting and then use it as reference for your animation?
Yes. I'm going to copy the snow. I've done it many times. And I need to fill out that. So let's fill it out. And then I'm going to cut it back to here. So now what we have is our snow effect right there. But what's wrong? Oh, it's black. So I'm going to shift. I need to tie those together. So I'm going to nest those. Go to clip. I'm going to nest them together. So now that snow effect is one clip. Now I want to drop out all that black. So if I click on the snow and I go to effects controls, I go to blend mode and I go to screen and boom, look at that. Now all of a sudden I can see everything in the background. And he's walking through the snow. Now we want snow in the foreground as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer, this nested sequence, my snow layer, and I am going to copy it. We're going to copy it, and then I'm going to plant it right there. Now I'm going to put it on top. Now the other thing I'm going to do, watch this, because right now it's just the same layer. I'm going to blow it up 200% because this is snow that's in the foreground. And because it's blown up so big, you won't see that it's mimicking the snow in the background. So now watch. Look at that. Now we've got snow blowing at different speeds because it's in the foreground, it's parallaxed. Now I want to darken it a little bit, especially in the shadow areas. So I'm going to go into effects, video effects. I'm going to go to color correction, brightness and contrast. I'm going to lay that on there and go to my effects controls, go to my brightness and knock that down a little bit, just a touch, just so it's not so bright. There we go. And look at that. You got nice snow blowing. It blends in a little bit better. And this is a snow pack you can just buy. I can't remember what company I bought it from, but we bought it. You just buy it online. You can, if you Google search snow overlay, whatever, and you'll be able to do that. So now I've got that. Now I want to, there's more snow there. I'm trying to see. Now this snow, that's all coming towards us. That snow coming towards us. That snow really blowing towards us. I want to take this one. Let's see what happens with this one. Let's unlock these. And I'm going to go behind. I can't go behind, that's right. So I got to go.
Julie wants to know, where did you get the snow effects from? I'm working on my animation short, and this would save me a lot of time. There's a lot of websites out there that have these sorts of effects.
Yeah,
from
I can't
packs.
remember what website I bought this from.
Yeah, but if you just search snow effects pack or like snow effects for After Effects or transparent snow effect, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. Now, we just had a meeting on this yesterday. This probably isn't going to be the snow that we end up using in the final film. We might even hand animate some of the snow.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, that doesn't work.
but for the purposes of this composition, it works pretty well.
Yeah. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, copy it, put it here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. It'll probably pop a little bit, but what I'm going to, because I don't want it to mirror the other snow, so I'm going to put the second half in first, then the first half in second. Whoops. There we go. Not sure what order that was in. But I'm trying to double up the snow effect. And I think what I did, I just put them in the same order. There we go. And there we go, there. There we go. So that doubled up our snow. So now we've got nice snow effects going on. Now, let's go ahead and nest all of that. Clip. Nest. Okay. Let me do that again. There we go. Clip. Nest. Okay, there we go. So now what we've got is everything all nested together. We've got our parallax happening. So now we can create one more move on the whole thing. We're going to start here. We're going to go to here, right about there. Let's go right about there. And I'm going to blow it up. And then we're going to move it right about here, right there, so that we're trucking in on him and following him at the same time. It's a cool effect. So we've got this effect happening here. So not only are we panning with him, but we're also trucking in. And then he walks through. There you go. And now let's add a nice snazzy little cross dissolve.
Snazzy.
Snazzy. That's a term. It's a term. Snazzy.
It is so snazzy.
Look at that. We did that in what? 2 hours? We were able to create the background and get him in, add some effects. Now let's really carry it. Let's go
Camera shake.
into here. We're going to go into my production, Snow Bear, wind. I need my wind.
Wind? I'll give you some money.
My wind. Where's my wind?
I got your wig right here. Did you full screen it, by the way? Sorry.
I will.
Cool.
Wind sounds. Here we go. Where is that? Snow Bear development. Okay, it's in our development pre-production.
Oh, it's part of the dev.
I'm gonna click through. Ooh, that's a nice sound. Like that. Like that one?
We're coming to you live from the tundra.
What's that?
This is Nick Birch reporting live from the tundra.
Live from the tundra.
Weather conditions are taking a turn from the worst.
It's blowing sideways.
Oh, so-called all of humanity.
So this really is a good example of how sound can really sell it.
Aaron Blaze with the Weather Channel.
Let's do this. I don't know if they can hear it or not. Am I able to do source sound?
I can't remember in OBS how we do.
Oh.
They'll hear it through the mic. That's the.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's our finish. That's how we create an animated background. Try it again. Oh, come on. Oh, I don't know. I can't do that. There might be something in there, but I don't want to. I don't want to add any camera shake on this. We're done. There you go. All done with a single walk cycle. One walk cycle and a few layers, and you can create a pretty awesome background. Moving shot. Now, if we had more time, we could do animated snow kind of blowing off the tops of each of the layers. That's something we would probably do in a feature. Sorry, drinking soda water. Watch this. Let's do one more.
You watch this.
Let's do. Let's import. Our Snow Bear title. Watch this. This is pretty cool.
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? So we are going to go to our controls, and we're going to go to screen, and then we're going to blow that sucker up. Let's blow it up.
Blow it up! Blow it up!
Blow it up. Let's go to here. Here.
Right over there. Yeah, now.
See, it's already got its own snow. And we're going to move it. We're going to move it. Let's blow it up a little more.
I like to move it.
Blow it up some more. There we go. I like that. Boy, like that. Oh, it changes the color though, doesn't it? Look at that. Changes the color.
Does it?
Yeah. Crazy how it changes the color.
That's freaking crazy. They could probably just darken that snow bear layer.
But let's go. Let's do this anyway. Oh, it's not changing it. Whoa, look at that. We create a little teaser. Oh, come on. Well, let's do this. We're gonna export it.
What's wrong? Why'd you say, oh, come on?
Oh, it's skipping. And we're gonna send this. We're gonna do the composite demo. And we're gonna put it in the animation folder. Save. Let's export that baby. Then we'll be able to show it full resolution. All right. So let's jump down to our folder. Let's go into our animation. I got to find my snow bear folder. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff in here. Snow bear, production, animation, and that was composite. There it is. Composite demo. Watch this. Look at that resolution. I like it.
I like it.
I like it like that.
I like it a lot. Hey, you've got updates available on your Mac.
Oh yeah, look at that. Sorry. Presentify started too. So, I actually just did a shot count today, and we've got 111 shots in Snow Bear that we need to get done over the next year. So, yeah. So that's what this gave you a little window into how we kind of pull together, composite a shot in Premiere, create camera moves and all of that. So that's what we do. And
Speaking of which,
fun.
we've got some plans for as we're developing Snow Bear.
Yes.
We're going to be sharing it with our annual members to our website and our streaming members on a regular basis. Sort of these sorts of shots as we move along. So if you're interested in becoming a member to creatureartteacher.com, we've got over 500 hours of art and animation lessons. Plus, we're going to be having a lot more behind the scenes looks exclusively for our members. So head on over to creatureartteacher.com, and if you feel like picking up the best value in art education,
yep.
that's what we recommend.
So basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be sharing my work day with you pretty much on a daily basis. If you're one of our members, and so basically turn on our streaming, and I'll sit down, and it's like you'll be in the studio with me, and you'll be able to look over my shoulder and just see what I'm animating each day and how we're pulling it all together. You're going to get to watch the process of making the entire short over the next several months as we make it. So I'm pretty excited about sharing that. It's something studios really don't usually do, and it was something we never did at Disney, obviously. But we really want this to be, I'm not going to give away everything. I want some kind of surprise for you guys for the show. But if I'm not working on something that I don't mind revealing, or if I'm working on something that I don't mind revealing, then I'm going to be opening it up to you guys, and you'll be able to sit there right here in the studio with me or at least virtually, and watch me work. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the studio's not that big.
Exactly. It's one room.
Yeah.
It's my room. It's a spare bedroom turned into a studio. So
Out of my room, I'm animating.
But virtually.
but virtually. Yes. So that was fun, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. And let me click on that again. There it is. So let me turn it down. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to put it on loop, actually. Let's view that on a loop. And I had a great time. And so remember, go on over to Proco, right? Is Proco still?
Proco.com/trading.
Proco.com. Yeah, I know. We had lots of rubber band fights back in the day. Go on over there and contribute to his relief aid that he's doing for the folks of Ukraine. And also go over to creatureartteacher.com if you're interested in more lessons on animation, bear walk cycles if you want to do that, animal locomotion. I've got a course on that. Everything, a lot of things are on sale. I should say everything. A lot of things are on sale right now. But like I said, this is a lot of fun. This is how I composite stuff in Premiere and how I put it together for our short. That's pretty much how we're going to do it for the whole thing. So I hope you guys learned something. Go on out there, put some beauty back into the world, and I will talk to you next week. It is so good to be back. Talk to you later, you guys.
Later, Cowboy Bebop.
Bye, everybody.